Hi everyone, welcome to Sonia's Work Table. When I first started my fermentation journey, it was a big question for me that how many days should I let the vegetables to ferment? So in today's video, I'm going to share some of those tips and tricks that I have learned along the process. So first of all, it depends on the temperature. For most vegetables in a warm environment, or let's say room temperature, something between 20 to 24 centigrade, it takes about 7 to 14 days to be fully fermented and ready to use. So that's for most vegetables. However, it depends on the size of the vegetables as well. So for example, if I have a very big jar and I have used big chunks of vegetables, instead of chopping them into small pieces, I'm using big chunks of vegetables, then obviously it may take some more days for the fermentation to be complete. It also depends on the type of vegetables as well. Some vegetables, like in my experience, carrot and onion and garlic, they ferment so quickly, especially if they are chopped into small pieces. Usually after day 4 or 5, the fermentation is almost done for some vegetables like carrot. So after day 4, you may want to taste it a little bit after you have seen those bubbles and fizziness, and even you have smelled a vinegar type of a smell. It is almost ready, but whether you let it to ferment for a few more days or not depends on your preference. So as you let it to ferment for another 2 or 3 or even more days, then the taste of sourness and tanginess becomes stronger. So it depends on your preference. But usually after day 5, it is ready to use. This is the jar of carrot that I made it last week. So after 7 days, I tasted it and I was really happy with it. There was no growth of mold. I saw the bubble and fizziness, and also I can smell the vinegar type of a smell. And I'm happy with the taste. Then I sealed the jar and put it in the fridge. The other thing is about the brine. So the first day, if you taste the brine, it's a very salty water. But after day 5, you can still taste the salt, but it is a soury, salty taste. So when you are having that soury taste, it shows that the bacteria have been active and they have done their job and they have produced lactic acid, and that's the reason for that soury taste. So those are the main things that I consider when I'm fermenting vegetables. So temperature is important, the size of the jar and the size of the vegetables is important, seeing the bubble, change of the taste from salty to soury. So those are the main things that I usually consider. Hope these are helpful tips for you. I have made a separate video. I put a link up there if you wanted to watch. That's more about the science that I noticed when I was making this fermented carrot. And I would love to hear about your experiences. If you have any question, feel free to put it in the comment section below. If you have done any fermented vegetables and you would like to share your experiences or any tips and tricks, feel free to comment below. Thanks for watching and see you. Bye.